subject. The Washington Post report this weekend about the information available to the administration about the border and expectations of a surge at the border. Can you comment on whether the administration was advised and then overlooked or disregarded information that was available to DHS and the White House?
Well, Alexis, I'd first point out that you're asking about a story that's based entirely on anonymous sources, so that should be reflected in the record. The second is, if you do take a look at what this administration's response has been, not just in the last couple of months, but over the last few years, you've seen that this administration has repeatedly sought additional resources to deal with this specific problem at the border. That if you look at the trajectory of the budget from fiscal year 2011 to 2012 to 2013 to 2014, that there's been a steady increase in the amount of resources requested to deal with this precise problem. That is a pretty good indication that this is something that we've been watching carefully and preparing for. What also happens to be true is that there were a number of steps that were taken by this administration in the months before, or at least in the weeks before, this became the media sensation that it has been over the last several weeks. That there were repeated visits by the Secretary of Homeland Security to the border and to facilities that were used to and have been used to detain unaccompanied minors. There were steps taken by the President to direct the FEMA administrator to coordinate the activities of DHS and the Department of Defense and Health and Human Services to coordinate the response for detaining these children and these families in a humanitarian way. So this is something that the administration has been focused on for quite some time. And we have seen, as I mentioned at the top of the briefing, the tide at least start to turn over the last couple of weeks. But we're not going to turn our attention away from that. In fact, the President's having a meeting on this today because he believes that this is the kind of a significant problem that merits sustained attention.